And you are looking live at Sold Out, the Yale Bowl. Remember the Giants played their home games at the Yale Bowl in 1973 and 1974. You are looking live at the Sold Out Yale Bowl, or today, the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost the Super Bowl. They suck. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. I love saying that. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Or if anybody spends any time watching any of the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I try to usually do every night. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, I said sometimes it's just it's nice talking to other people sometimes instead of me just rambling on for like 30 minutes or whatever. Before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, I got a top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first membership level is called the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. Okay, so if anybody wants to help support my channel, it's the top link in the description box. Okay, it would mean the world to me, right? If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and that way next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? And as I said, if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for just help support my channel. I greatly appreciate it. It really means the world to me. And finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links, okay? The top one takes you to my Facebook group, okay? It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Basically everything, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page, it's all called the same thing. That's because like an idiot like me, I can't forget, all right? So that way I kind of remember everything. What do we have? We have over 2,700 members in the group, okay? I try to put stuff in there every day. I try to get, like, if I can, like about 10 different things. So sometimes in the off season, sometimes it's a little difficult, but I try to get as much stuff as I can in there every day. And not only that, but then I put stuff in there, but members put stuff in there as well too. So if you go and you become a member of the group, right, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there every day. And then the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my page. It's a Facebook page. It's called New York Giants, the Gridiron, right? I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one who posts anything in there, but it's the same thing. I try to put a bunch of stuff in there every day. Right now, we have 853 people who like the page, and there's over 3,600 people who are following the page, all right? So if you go to the group and become a member, and you go to the page and you like and you follow, between the two, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day. And I don't like commingle them. So basically, whatever I put on the page, I don't put in the group, and vice versa. So it's all different stuff. I mean, I said, whether it's like a video, what do we got? Something making fun of the Eagles, something making fun of the Cowboys. It might be a picture. It might be something showing some stats, anything, right? Something, unfortunately shown about John Feliciano. This was a couple of days ago, signing with the 49ers. Something else here, making fun of the Cowboys, which I love doing. But, so between the two, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day. And like I say all the time, if you become a member of the group and the page and all that, and you're not happy, you get your money back, guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done out of the way with, the Giants have been keeping busy. All right. Let's not get too overly excited. Maybe McCain, all right, but some of these other ones, they're just depth, right? But they've been keeping busy. So that's good. Okay. They're signing a lot of these guys on the cheap. Okay. Which is kind of what they did last year, right? A lot of guys that, they had like no money. So a lot of guys that you'll never run out of guys to bring in. You'll never, ever, ever run out of guys to bring in. Whether they're good quality or not, that remains a different story. But okay, you'll never run out of guys to bring in. Now, these guys that basically they're all on the cheap. So that means pretty much didn't really, they're probably like league minimum and all. So, I mean, they're really not going to really hurt the cap at all. Okay. A lot of them are like maybe like 1-year deals, sometimes, I mean, you're never going to know with a lot of these guys, like why they bring them in, have them for 1 year and let them go and just never, I mean, like Fabian Moreau. I mean, right. You had brought him in last year. He's about like $1 million. I mean, he did a decent job for you. He stayed relatively healthy as far as I can remember. I mean, you got some of these other guys like Rodarius Williams, who was healthy scratch. Aaron Robinson, he always seems to get hurt. And said, I think Fabian Moreau did a decent job for you, and he's out there as a free agent. And you just like let him go. And then you bring in somebody else. And then after this season, the person you just brought in, you're just going to let them go. And then you're going to bring in somebody else. And then after the season's over, you're going to let them go and you're going to bring in somebody else. I never quite understood that. I mean, especially if the guys did a decent job. I mean, you're paying them like $1 million. You're not getting Deion Sanders as a cornerback. That's not happening. Right. If you're paying him $1 million as a wide receiver, you're not getting, Devontae Adams. You're not getting Jerry Rice. So I mean, you're bringing somebody in and then you let them go, and then the following season you bring somebody else in again at the same price, and then after that season, you let them go, and then you bring somebody else. And then I never some of that I just never quite understood, but it is what it is, and that's the way it's unfortunately always going to wind up being. But I mean, the Giants, I mean, they've been keeping busy. So I mean, they're bringing in like their depth. A lot of it's competition, it's depth. Now, as I said, it's depth, right? Some of these guys don't get too overly excited. Just because we're bringing in guys and all doesn't mean, the one would be, like possibly a Bobby McCain. Okay. He very, very, he looks like he might be taken possibly maybe. Well, they brought him in, apparently, I thought, so he can at least have a chance to get maybe the position left behind by Julian Love. Okay. I saw this one thing on Giants.com. Okay. 5 things to know about him, about the veteran. Originally a 5th-round draft choice by Miami in 2015, McCain had played in 121 regular season games. He's got his durability, right? He's very durable. All right. Let's see. He played in 121 regular season, 87 starts, 40 at cornerback. Okay. He recorded 368 tackles, 44 passes defensed, 11 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, which was, of course, against with Jake Fromm and the Giants in 2021. The last game of the season, I think it was. Right? He's had 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, starting 1 postseason game for the Dolphins in 2016. He's not huge. He's 5'9", 196 pounds. But he's just missed 9 games in his 8-year career. Okay. And he's missed none since 2019. Okay. So past 3 seasons, I guess he's, he started all but 3 games the last 2 seasons too. All right. So he's durable, which is huge. Okay. And well, I'm going to go over his stats, but the guy's got some versatility to him as well, too, which is in the Wink Martindale system is huge. You talk about like the amoeba defense, I guess they want to call it, the positionalist defense. I mean, you got guys at the line of scrimmage, quarterbacks. What's this guy doing? Is that guy coming? Who's he covering? Is he dropping in? Is that the safety? Is he going to be cornerback? Is he the nickel? What the hell is going on out there? You know what I mean? So what he brings is huge. Okay, veteran presence, durable. We talk, knock on wood there. Okay, but very, very good. Very, very good signing. Okay. I mean, we're not talking all pro here or anything like that, but it's a very good signing. Okay. Some good quality depth. Okay. McCain's lone multi-interception game was in 2021 against the Giants. Jake Fromm. He grabbed 2 interceptions and returned 130 yards for his first career touchdown. McCain attended the University of Memphis and played in 45 games with 43 starts, all right, in college, right? So he played 45 games in college. That's pretty good. Okay. He made 136 tackles in college, 1.5 sacks, 12 interceptions, 27 passes defense, 3 fumble recoveries, and 1 forced fumble. And he also returned 42 kickoffs in college for an average of 25.3 yards. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so he came in 2015. He played, 6 seasons with Miami, and the last two with Washington. Okay, now according to Pro Football Reference, right, it looks like he played. They got him a defensive back, but he played right cornerback. Apparently, I think he played in the slot corner, free safety, and strong safety. Okay, so he can probably play. He's like, I mean, if you want to look at like what Julian Love did for the Giants, Joe Judge called him duct tape, because basically he can go in there and fix any situation, right? I mean, you can put him like anything, whether you need him in a corner. I mean, you're not going to get all pro level play out of him or anything like that. If you need him in a cornerback, there you go. If you want him in a safety, there you go. Right. So, and it looks like it might be kind of getting the same thing here with McCain. Okay. Now, according to Pro Football Focus, okay, McCain, I tell you what, he's graded out rather well. All right. This past season with Washington, his defensive grade was a 61.4. But in 2021, his defensive grade was a 70.9. Then his final season in 2020 with Miami was a 62.1. 2017, he graded out at a 76.4. Right. His coverage grades are very good. This past season with Washington, his coverage grade was a 69.5. 2021, he was a 72.6. 2017 was his best season. His coverage grade was a 78.9. So he can cover, right? I mean, he can cover. He's not going to be. He's not a spring chicken, right? So I mean, I even if the Giants, he'll be 30 this year coming up. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to be, I'm not exactly sure what the details of the contract are, but I mean, if he's like a 1-year kind of thing, just sign him on a 1-year deal, and hopefully maybe we'll try to bring him back next year. Don't know. But without question, some good quality depth. And once again, he has the opportunity to fight for the job. I mean, you're going to have hopefully Xavier McKinney, hopefully his hand's okay, and he can come back. You have Dane Belton there. Trenton Thompson. Okay, you got him, I think, on the practice squad, though. But Jason Pinnock, okay, you got Bob McCain. All right. So apparently, you lost Julian Love, but instead of paying Julian Love, whatever, $6 to $8 million a season, you're going to be paying him probably a lot less, far, far less. So it wound up being a good pickup. And as I said, once again, don't be surprised that the Giants without their 10 picks, don't be surprised that, they maybe grab a safety, maybe later in the draft. Right? I wouldn't expect them to take one that high. I don't even know if the top safety was even on the board for the Giants at 25. I don't even know if they would take a safety at that position. It's just a positional value. I'm not sure if Shane, values the safety that high, So, but I mean, it's a good quality pickup for the Giants. Some nice depth. Okay. So then they wind up picking up like 3 other guys. Okay. Obviously one of them is, Jamison Crowder. I mean, the guy's been, around for a while. 8-year veteran. He was a 5th-round pick. I mean, I tell you what, by the Redskins in 2015. I tell you what, for a 5th-round pick, Very good pick in the fifth round. In his 100 regular season games, he started 51 of them. Crowder has 415 receptions for 4,667 yards and 28 receiving touchdowns. Crowder, who'll be 30, okay, so another guy, 30 years old, okay. In June, played only 4 games for Buffalo this past season due to an ankle injury, okay. So his time there was cut short. But, so we're just adding in more guys. Good quality competition, good quality depth. Now, Jamison Crowder, his ankle winds up being okay. Even if he's not on the final 53 or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to put him on the practice squad or whatever, but some good quality depth. Okay. Let's see. Crowder brings punt return experience too, averaging 8.2 yards per punt return on 95 returns over his 8 seasons. So he does basically kind of the same thing I would do a little bit what Richie James did last year. Richie James was a wide receiver, tied for the team lead in receptions, and he could also return punts as well, too, right? Let's see. It says here, considering that the Giants do not appear interested in re-signing Richie James, all right, their primary return in 2022, that could be the biggest reason for adding Crowder. As I said, it's the same thing. We brought in Richie James. He tied for the team lead in receptions. He was our punt returner last year. He did fumble the 2 against Seattle, which led to basically it was like 10 of Seattle's points. And there was a touchdown and a field goal, I think they got out of it. But so then you let him go and you bring in Jamison Crowder, and you're probably, after this season's over, you're probably going to let Jamison Crowder go, and you're going to probably bring in somebody. I just don't quite understand that sometimes, but. And then also, this I find this kind of interesting too. The 2 wide receivers in the draft. The Giants reportedly had dinner earlier this week with Ohio State wide receiver Jason Smith and Jigba, and are supposed to have dinner Thursday evening with Zay Flowers of Boston College. Okay, now there's a lot of people have. I'm not sure if Jigba is going to make it to the Giants. But a lot of people, I see a lot of mock drafts that the Giants taking Zay Flowers out of Boston College. But you'll have to wait and see. But so perhaps even if the Crowder signing, they will remain in wide receiver market. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to take a wide receiver because Crowder is just, he's no long-term solution, no long-term answer or anything like that. He's just, somebody on the roster right now, He spent his first 4 years with Washington, and then he spent 3 years with the Jets, and the last year with Buffalo, he played in the 4 games. He only had 6 receptions last year for 60 yards in his short stay. His best year was in 2019 with the Jets. He had 78 receptions for 833 yards. His highest in 2016 with the Redskins, he had 7 receiving touchdowns. He had 67 pass receptions, 847 yards. So he's gone over 700 yards, actually almost 4 times. He 2020 had 699 yards receiving, but he only played in 12 games with the Jets. So he would have had, if he played the whole season, he would have had well over 700 yards. But so basically, almost his whole, half his career, he had like 700 yards receiving. So he's a very capable person. He has to get healthy, okay, but he's he'll be was it June 17th, he'll be 30 years old. Okay, he's not big. He got him 5'9", 177 pounds. So right, so bringing in another short receiver. So but with PFF, he graded. Last year he did not grade out well. He had the ankle injury. But 2020 with the Jets, he graded out at a 75.3. 2019 with the Jets, he graded out 73. 2017 with Washington, according to PFF, he graded out a 72.7. His run blocking is not very good, but his passing grade is very decent. So, so a very good quality pickup. And he was there. He's from Duke. Okay, so another Duker. All right. But once again, just depth. If we have a bunch of injuries, what we had last year, If he winds up on the practice squad, if you got to bring him in and put him in, he's more than capable of doing the job. He's just got to stay healthy. Okay. Then of course, we signed Amani Oruwariye. Okay, yeah, it's tough for me to say that real fast. Oruwariye. All right, from Detroit. Now, I see these things like he had 6 interceptions in 2021, and so I would kind of get you all excited and everything. But he didn't have any interceptions last year, right? I mean, he's not like an interception machine, and so I mean. Oruwariye spent 4 seasons with the Lions. All 4 seasons he's been within the league, he's been with the Lions, all right? After the team selected him in the 5th round of the 2019 draft, okay, Oruwariye played 53 games over 4 seasons with 36 starts and was a full-time starter for the Lions in 2020, 2021. In 2021, he had the 6 interceptions, 11 passes defensed, okay? He had a good year that year, all right? Giants have Adoree Jackson at 1 cornerback, but question marks in the slot and on the boundary, opposite of Jackson. Yeah, it's like you're going to bring Oruwariye in, and probably, as far as I know, you're going to maybe have him for 1 year, and probably going to let him go and bring somebody else in and take his place, and just, you never seem to have a lot of these guys. You never seem to keep them for very, very long. Let's see. It says, and brings up the point. The Giants appear to have a little interest in bringing back journeyman Fabian Moreau. As I said, they signed him last year. He did a decent job. I mean, one of those things you're never going to quite know why they're not going to bring him back. But I mean, he was on the cheap. He did a decent job for you. And for some reason, they let him go. They're bringing Oruwariye in, and probably after this season, they're going to let Oruwariye go and bring somebody, and just keep the cycle going. It is what it is. But the Giants have Cordell Flott, Aaron Robinson, Nick McLeod, Darnay Holmes, but are still widely expected to add the position in the upcoming draft. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Giants took a cornerback in the 1st round. Or, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if somewhere along the line they wound up like doubled. I mean, there's a lot of cornerbacks in this round. Yeah, if they took 2 cornerbacks in this round. But Oruwariye is 6'2", okay, nice size, and he has the measurables defensive coordinator Wink Martindale likes, and could compete for a starting job pending what the Giants do in the draft. I'd be surprised if, Well, as I said, I'd be shocked if they didn't do something in the draft. Shocked, because this is a good cornerback draft, and the Giants, without question, going to need. The thing is, it kind of makes you think, is because the Giants could use some cornerback help. Okay, now what you're not hearing. Oh, what we got? Hey there. Jackson Smith is modern day Cruz. Addison is Elite 2. TCU Johnson probably get gone. Yeah. I've seen Addison too, possibly being maybe. I've seen, you see 5 trillion mock drafts out there. Everybody gets mocked to the Giants, one way or the other. Even Richardson, the quarterback from Florida, who's going to get drafted in the top 10. I even seen the Giants jump up and grab. I mean, everybody gets mocked to the Giants, but I feel we need to go to center early. The only thing, we can need a center, but the only thing is the value. You can't take a center in the 1st round if he has like a 2nd round grade or third. You can't. We need a center. We got to take the best center available, even if he's not a 1st round. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's more ways to skin a cat, but you can't. We need a center. So 1st round, we're taking. Can't do that. It's got to kind of match up. I mean, if you take a guy in the 1st round, he's got to kind of have close to a 1st round grade. If you don't have him graded in the 1st round, you can't do that. So, I mean, I said I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, talking about cornerbacks, the thing that's kind of making me scratch my head, I'm losing my hair over thinking about it, is the Giants could always use maybe a little bit of extra salary cap. I mean, if they want to bring in another, free agent or so or whatever, right? there's no talk at all about them maybe restructuring Adoree Jackson's contract, because this is his final season as well. I mean, after this season, he's gone, right? Let me. I got it here somewhere. I got so many tabs open here. See if I can find it. Oh, there we go. Adoree Jackson. I mean, honestly, actually, they can even let him go and save $9 million. They'd be stone cold crazy to do it because they don't have any cornerbacks. I mean, that can, really good cornerbacks. But this is his final season. But I mean, you don't hear anything. Like, I mean, if they have intentions upon keeping him around, right? Why not extend him a couple years? You got a $19 million salary cap hit. Extend him a couple years, take that $19 million, and you could drop that down probably to maybe about $10 million or so, and save yourself $9 million this year, right? But you don't hear that, right? You're not hearing anything like that, which kind of makes you think like, well, what are they going to be doing with Adoree Jackson after this season? I mean, do you want to maybe possibly hit free agency and try to bring him back? I mean, why not, talk to him now and see maybe if you want to extend the contract with him or whatever. So, but I'm not hearing any of that. So I mean, it kind of makes you think that maybe they're just going to let him go after this season. I don't know, but I mean, this is a good cornerback class, and certainly in the first round, there's like I keep hearing like anywhere from like 5, 6, maybe 7 or so cornerbacks that have like first round grades. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Giants don't go cornerback in the first round, and maybe take another one early, somewhat early on as well too. But I mean, center is certainly without question they need a center. Yeah, I mean, we obviously not telling Shane anything. He's he's not sleeping at nighttime and, oh my God, we don't got a center. He knows. You don't get to tell that. He probably has like, there's plan A, there's plan B, there's plan C, plan D, E. He probably has 10 to, if this doesn't happen, then we'll go to plan B. If that don't happen, if plans A, B, and C don't work, we'll see what we can do in the draft. If A, B, C don't work and we strike out in the draft, say we get the only center we can get, we got one guy in the 6th round. Okay, it looks like he may not be the starter. Then after the draft, then we can go that. We can try this. We can try this. We can try this. We can try that. Yeah. So he's got stuff lined up. What it is, we don't know. But of course, all of it, me talking and Mel Kiper talking and everybody else talking, it doesn't really matter. It's what value did it, like John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, the center from Minnesota. Supposed to be, a lot of people have him number ones. Some other guys have some other. There's a center from TCU, somebody else from Ohio State, right? But what do they think of him, right? I mean, if they think the guy is the bomb, if they grade him that high, they can certainly maybe take him in the first round, But also a lot of it is also positional value too. I mean, sometimes some guys just don't want to take a center in the first round. It's like, it's not, to some of them, it may not be that high of a positional value. They might have to want to go after, there's certain positional values, in the top round, like edge rusher, cornerback, a quarterback, wide receivers, right? Which the Giants could certainly use. So, I mean, once again, I think it's only like 5 weeks away. 5 weeks to the draft. Holy crap. Unbelievable. I mean, it's amazing that time. Absolutely amazing. But don't be surprised if they don't go cornerback in the first round. And then that leads you to, well, let's see. I mean, Ojulari, he's had nine interceptions. 6 of them came in 2021. Okay. He had none last year. I mean, the Lions had their offense was very, very good. Their defense, if they can get it better defense, it was getting better, But I mean, if they can really get a good defense, watch out for those Lions. I'll tell you what. He played in 14 games last year. He started in only 5 of them. He had no interceptions last year. He had 3 passes defensed. Okay, so last year was not a banner year for Ojulari. Last year, according to Pro Football Focus, okay, which kind of brings up my point here, his overall grade last year, okay, was a 30. His defensive grade, right? I'm trying to make sure. Defense, yeah. Ojulari, Amani, 30. Okay. His coverage grade was a 31.3. Okay. His tackling grade was a 49.3. His run defense was a 37.9. He did not have a good year last year. Okay. Probably one of the reasons why, the Lions let him go. He played 4 years with the Lions. He got drafted in the 5th round, okay, from Penn State. Okay. So, he probably played with Saquon. Okay. Saquon was in 2018. This guy was in 2019. So, so they played together. Okay. Ojulari and Saquon played at Penn State together. But I mean, after 4 years, the Lions let him go. And the Lions could use some cornerback help, and just let this guy go. Right. Kind of tells you maybe all you need to know. Right. So, I mean, I'm sure he's not expensive. Okay. He's coming on the cheap. Okay. So once again, somebody who'll fight for a position, right? He'll fight for a starting job, right? We'll see where it goes, right? But I mean, if he doesn't work out and this is the only season Ojulari plays for the Giants, don't be surprised. I'm saying he did not really have a banner year last year. Okay. All right. Then we got Tommy Sweeney, the tight end from Buffalo. Okay. 7th-round pick from the Bills in 2019. So Shane and Dable were there in 2019. Okay. When they drafted Tommy Sweeney. Sweeney caught 18 passes over 3 seasons. All right. With the Bills. But that's not what he's known for, pretty much. He's a player Joe Schoen and head coach Brian Dable have familiarity with from Buffalo. And they likely see him as an upgrade to players the Giants used as a blocking tight end last season with Myrick, Tanner Hudson, and Nick Vannett. Okay. The Giants, of course, traded for Darren Waller, but Waller's not going to be a blocking tight end. All right. So we got, all right. Let's see. Oh, I lost my spot here. But Sweeney, okay, caught 1 pass in 5 games last year. Okay. He's 27. He spent his first 3 seasons with the Bills. Okay. After playing in 6 games and catching 8 passes as a rookie. All right. Sweeney missed the 2020 season with a foot injury and COVID complications. He returned in 2021 to play in 13 games with 3 starts and had a career high 9 receptions. So you got Josh Allen slinging that ball all over the field. I mean, they throw the ball, 75% of the time? And you play in 13 games and you have 9 receptions, right? So don't think of him too much as like a passing threat, okay? But we go here, we look at his run blocking grade, okay? He's 27. He'll be July 1st, he'll be 28, all right? So, not certainly not old, but he's a 7th-round pick, okay? But his run blocking, according to Pro Football Focus this past year, okay, he graded out as 61. All right, so he's a decent run blocking. I mean, his passing grade, is 56.90. His offensive grade overall was a 56.3. Okay, but his run blocking, okay, he's good at run blocking. All right, so I mean, just because he's in there and on the field certainly doesn't mean he can't catch a pass. But I mean, as we see here, first year he played in 6 games. He started 1 game in 2019. He caught 8 passes. Right. Then he missed 1 season with 2020. 2021. All right. He played in 13 games, 3 starts. He caught 9 balls. Okay. So in his 3 year, he has 18 receptions in 3 seasons. So basically he's averaging 6 receptions a season. Now you got Josh Allen throwing that ball all over the place, and this guy comes up with 6 receptions a season, right? That's not, he has 1 touchdown reception. Okay. He averages 9.2 yards of reception. So, I mean, don't expect much of anything from him. You know what I mean? Hopefully, he'll either make the 53 or maybe he'll get put on the practice squad or whatever. But so with him, okay, with Sweeney, certainly don't, look for him to maybe help bolster the run blocking, But they just keep him busy. A lot of just some depth, right? So doesn't mean all these guys are going to make the final 53. All right, they might get put on the practice squad. Lord knows we're talking to Giants, so we could quite possibly be talking injuries. So these guys could be thrust into the spotlight throughout the season. So, but just depth. Right, not going hog wild crazy signing guys. We got 90 guys. We need to fill up a 90-man roster, so we're just bringing in a bunch of guys. So we got a lot of tight ends. We certainly got a lot of tight ends. Okay, but between Bellinger and Waller, we got two good quality tight ends. That's the same thing. It's a good tight end class. Don't be surprised if the Giants don't grab a tight end in the 4th or 5th round. Right, that if they didn't grab Waller, there's a possibility I would say maybe they could think about grabbing a tight end in the 2nd, maybe or 3rd round or so, especially if they had the 2 third-round picks, maybe taking a tight end in the 3rd round. That way you have 2 young tight ends to move on with, right? That wouldn't be bad. But since they brought Waller, I mean, it said don't be surprised if they could take a tight end too. But Giants, you keep them busy. They're not going crazy, as far as spending huge amounts of money, right? But once again, bringing in guys, signing guys. But these guys here just for some depth. They'll be starting from fighting. They'll be fighting for positions, okay? But don't expect too much from some of these guys. McCain, keep an eye on McCain, okay? He's like. Yeah, you can put him almost anywhere. All right, a veteran presence. Okay, a lot of experience. You can put the guy anywhere. Okay, he's probably not going to be an all-pro or nothing, but he's certainly somebody without question that could fight for a starting job someplace. So keep an eye out on him. So that was a good pickup. Okay, well, guys, it's been 37 minutes. I got 2 thumbs ups. Thank you. Anybody spent any time at all watching this? Greatly appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. I greatly appreciate it. It's nice to talk to somebody. All right. Anybody spends any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.